guys, this is Alex Dunn, Millionaire Grant Lady. Thank you for joining me for my next micro-learning session. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between science and scenery in a grant application. And it's very important that you get this right mix of both science, the facts, the data, the numbers, the census data, the outcomes reports, the surveys that you've done, versus the scenery, what it's like for your clients or the people that you're benefiting. What makes this kind of confusing is that there's a lot of research in the fundraising world about how people make donations much more quickly and much bigger donations if they're for opportunities that really talk about a person that they're going to help, one single person. And so that research has been going on for quite a while. Tom Ahern is a copyright genius in the fundraising world when it comes to direct mail. And he talks a lot about how you need to highlight one person that somebody's funding is going to help and how you really just pull at their heartstrings instead of throwing data at them. It works with individual donors quite well, and the research has proven that quite fantastically. The problem is that there's not really research about what foundations care about. If foundations care more about the data or more about the scenery. The research that we can take from the copywriting fundraising world is that there's two kinds of ways that people's brains work. There's a book actually called Think Fast, Think Slow, and that's kind of where this a lot of this science comes from. And when it comes to an individual donor appeal, like a urine mailer or something like that, people make those decisions quickly. They're thinking fast because they're not comparing that individual ask to a whole bunch of other asks. So it's not like they're comparing giving to your organization at the same time as they're comparing giving to organization B, C, or D. So they're making decisions quickly, which is why you want to give them an emotional appeal and a story. The problem is that foundations, for the most part, don't do that. Foundations, for the most part, are comparing our proposals against the proposals of our peers at the same time. Now, when they're doing this, what they're doing is they're thinking slow. And thinking slow means that they're looking more at data and numbers and making comparisons between the differences between what we say that we're going to do in our proposal and what other people say they're going to do in their proposals. Now, when people think slow, emotional appeals aren't as effective as when people are thinking fast. When people are thinking slow, that's where numbers come more into play. As you know, there is a wide variety in the foundation world. You have small family foundations versus big national institutional foundations. And so what is really key is that you figure out with where you are applying to if they are going to think more like an individual donor or more like the federal government, say, where they're going to be comparing hard numbers versus looking for something that tugs at their heart. So it's really important that as you prepare to submit your proposals, you think about who you're submitting them to, think about your audience, think about if they're going to be thinking more like an individual donor and thinking fast, or if they're going to be comparing your work to lots of other organizations, and if they're more likely to be thinking slow and more inclined to data. This is why it's really important to get to know your foundations so that you have an idea of if they're more data-driven or more story-driven. So that is what makes grant writing and next level grant writing that really increases your funding so complicated, because it has to be a balance of both the facts and the stories. It has to be a balance of the heartstrings and the hard numbers, and it has to be somewhat customized based on who the audience is and if that audience is more interested in stories and data. Also, it's important for you to maintain those relationships with your funders so that you can also have opportunities to give them the heartstrings and the feel goods for the moments when they're thinking fast and they're not comparing your work to other people. If you have more questions about how to increase your grant funding and grow to meet more of your mission, you can check out my website, www.millionairegrantlady.com. Again, that's www.millionairegrantlady.com. And I have some resources on there for you, some webinars and some articles that can be helpful to you as you try to grow your funding. If you'd also like to talk more about how we can help you, you can schedule a call with us and we can talk about that. So thank you so much. Continue dreaming big, keep growing to meet your mission, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.